Okay, let's just dive right in. For the longest time, the game was pretty simple, right? Just rank #1 on Google. But the internet has totally changed. The search engines have evolved, and honestly, those old rules for getting found online, they just don't cut it anymore. Today, we're going to break down the three pillars of what it takes to really dominate search now: SEO, GEO, and a brand new one you absolutely need to know: AIEO. So let's just start with a huge question. What if all that blood, sweat, and cheers you put into getting that top spot was kind of missing the point? What if the real goal isn't just to be found, but to actually become the answer itself? That one little shift in thinking is what we're talking about today, and believe me, it changes absolutely everything. But hey, before we get to all the cool, shiny future stuff, we have to master the present. So let's start with the unbreakable foundation of any and all online visibility: good old SEO. All right, let's get on the same page. Search engine optimization, or SEO, is all about getting your website to show up in search results organically, without having to pay for every single click. It's the cost of entry. It's your ticket to the game. It's basically you telling search engines like Google, hey, I'm over here and I've got the stuff people are looking for. And the goal here is pretty straightforward, but it's incredibly powerful. You're trying to increase traffic from people who are actively looking for what you do. It's about being more visible, building up your authority over time, and this is a big one, not being so dependent on throwing money at expensive ads. It's about building a real asset that lasts. To make this crystal clear, let's use an analogy we'll come back to. Think of your online presence as a house. Well, SEO is your foundation in the frame. It has to be solid, well-built, and technically perfect before you can even think about doing anything else. I mean, you can't build a mansion on a shaky foundation, right? Okay, so the foundation is poured, the house is built. Now we move to the next layer, GEO. And this is where things get really, really interesting, because GEO has a kind of dual meaning, and you need to understand both if you want to win in today's world. So the first meaning is probably the one you've heard of: geographical engine optimization, or local SEO. This is all about those near-me searches. If you've got a physical store or you serve a specific area, this is your secret weapon. This is how you grab customers who are literally just around the corner and have their wallets out ready to buy. But okay, here comes the twist. What happens when this search engine isn't just a boring list of blue links anymore, but it's an AI that just generates a direct answer for you? Well, this is where the entire game gets flipped on its head. And that brings us to the second, newer meaning: generative engine optimization. This is all about making your content so clear, so authoritative, and so well-structured that the new AI-powered search engines don't just link to you, they actually use your content to create the answer. You're not just a source anymore, you are the answer. So we've gone from being just another link to being the answer itself. So what's next? What's the final level? Well, that would be the most advanced pillar, AIE. And this is all about becoming the AI's favorite choice. AI engine optimization, or AIEO, is really the next frontier, removing beyond the search results page entirely here. This is about making sure that AI assistants, like Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, recognize your brand, they understand what it is you do, and most importantly, they recommend you when someone asks a relevant question. Let's bring our house analogy all the way home. If SEO is the foundation and GEO puts your house on the map, then AIEO turns that house into a world-famous landmark. It's the place that all the tour guides, the AIs, know about and just instinctively recommend to everyone. It becomes the default, the most trusted choice. You can really see the evolution when we put them side by side. SEO's focus is on rankings to get website visits. GEO, in its two forms, is laser-focused on location for calls and visits, or on becoming the source for AI answers to build authority. But AIEO, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about AI discovery and brand recall, driven by AI assistants. Each one plays its own unique, critical role. So you might be thinking this sounds like three completely separate strategies, but they're not. They're actually layers of one single, incredibly powerful playbook. So let's get into how you actually make all of this work together. And the good news is that the tactics you use for one often boost the others. It all starts with creating content that's based on what your user intends to do, not just the keywords they type. Then you build your strategy around entities, which are just the real-world things, people, and places. You use structured data to basically label your content so AIs can understand it easily. And when you write in natural conversational language, you're fueling all three pillars at once. And look, This is not an overnight fix. It's a compounding strategy. In the short term, yeah, you'll see your pages get indexed and maybe get some initial local visibility. In the midterm, that starts to turn into consistent traffic growth and people actually remembering your brand. But the long-term prize? That's total authority dominance, where AIs start recommending you by default. That's a sustainable business. At the end of the day, this is all about building authority that actually lasts. You build trust by becoming the go-to source for helpful answers. You take advantage of the fact that when people see you everywhere, in search, on maps, in AI answers, they just start to trust you. And you gain this amazing thing called zero-click authority, where your brand becomes so trusted that people remember you even if they never click a single link. How powerful is that? So, after all that, what is the single most important idea you should walk away with? It all really boils down to this one simple but really powerful truth. First, SEO is your foundation. It's non-negotiable. It brings people to your digital front door. Next up, GEO brings you the right people. Whether that's a local customer ready to buy or your content being used as a direct answer, it connects you with users who are ready to act. And finally, AIEO. This is the end game. It's not about just having an answer, it's about your brand becoming the definitive answer. When you combine all three, you're not just playing the game anymore, you are building an engine for digital dominance that grows stronger over time and is almost impossible for your competitors to copy. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own strategy. In this new AI-driven world, are you still just fighting to be another blue link on a page, or are you building a brand that is the answer? Because that choice is going to define your future.